So internally, it's the perfect environment. Anyone ever heard of Petri dishes? Did you grow up in school having to use Petri dishes? You know, maybe you swab the inside of your mouth and you put it on some agar and you closed it up and you put it in some sort of incubator and you came back a couple days later to see what kind of strange things are growing there. Well, the incubator is very much similar to our intestinal tract. It's warm, it's got all the nutrients in there, and it's dark because, you know, there's no flashlights inside here. And so it's a perfect environment for infectious organisms to be, which is why we have to have 80% by weight in our intestine good bacteria. That keeps the other stuff in check. So anytime we talk about digestive disorders, we have to make sure that our intestinal tract has the good stuff in there in high enough amounts to keep the bad stuff at bay. One of the most serious complications of diarrhea is dehydration, which is why if an infant is having a lot of diarrhea, it's very important to make sure they have enough water because you can die of dehydration. Would you agree with me? Very true. All right, ulcerative colitis. This is a condition in which the large intestine, which is colon or the bowel, and the rectum become inflamed. The condition generally affects people ages 15 to 40 and is thought to be caused by viral or bacterial infection. Now, colitis is a combination of colon and itis. Itis is a suffix meaning inflammation. Ulcerative, again, we have ulcers, which are these open lesions or open wounds. So it's a combination of both these open wounds and inflammation. Symptoms of ulcerative colitis range from abdominal pain, diarrhea, our favorite subject to talk about, and fatigue due to dehydration and anemia. Indicators may also include skin lesions, rash, joint pain, and inflammation of the eyes. So this is a much more systemic inflammatory condition going on, and it can be. And so, again, the skin is one of the largest organs in the body, and it's connected all the way through to the digestive system. So it would make sense that our skin might be a reflection of what's going on inside the internal environment. Crohn's disease. Very much like ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease is an inflammatory bowel disorder that primarily affects the small intestine, but may also affect other areas of the digestive tract. Men and women are affected equally by Crohn's, and about 20% of the cases are found to be hereditary. The major symptoms of Crohn's disease are abdominal pain, diarrhea, weight loss, and fever. So in your lecture packet, everyone got the handout, I believe, hopefully. On the last page, we have the stress and digestion survey. At this point, I ask that each of you fill this out, but I would like you to fill this out. And the purpose of filling this out is to determine if you have any health problems you may be having that are due to stress, as well as you'll better understand the rest of the lecture, the solutions that may be available, natural solutions, if you fill this out. So I ask you to start filling this out at this moment. Now, we do have information in here asking about your name and address and all, and I'll let you know that later on in the lecture, as a member of the Wellness Foundation, Foundation for Wellness Professionals, the President has required that when we do these lectures that we offer people a free consultation at the end. You don't have to accept the consultation, but I'm required to offer that to you. And so the information on this survey will be helpful for us as well in contacting you if you decide to make that appointment. Also, on here we have the spot for email. If you're interested in any upcoming lectures that we're doing in the community on different topics, we need that email in order to contact you for that. All right, so I would like you to start filling this out. So start in number 1. Please check off any of the following symptoms you have experienced in the past 6 months. So the first one is acid reflux or heartburn. All right, so continue checking off any of the symptoms you might be having related to your digestion. Nausea, constipation, diarrhea, I promise I'm not going to share this information with anyone else.
Including the president.
Including the president. Bloating. Have you had stomach pain in the last 6 months? Any cramping, bad breath, burping, difficulty swallowing, burning sensation? So continue filling these out. Headache, sinus congestion. How many of you at this point have checked off at least 2 or more? Raise your hands, please. Hold them up, keep them up. Everyone look around, hold them up. You can just see you're not alone. And you're obviously at the right lecture because these are related to digestive problems. Then please fill in which of the above bothers you the most. Write in which one bothers you the most and how long have you been bothered by this condition. Then please also describe in your own words how it feels or affects you when it is at its worst. All right, and number 2, does this cause you to be, so when you wrote in there which bothers you the most, please write in, does this cause you to be moody or irritable? Certainly if you're having cramps all the time, or nausea, or diarrhea, difficulty swallowing, surely it will cause some moodiness perhaps, or irritability. It may interrupt your sleep. It may also restrict your daily activities, so please check off the box if any of those apply. It may also be affecting your work. It could affect your decision making. It could have an aspect where you might have a less great attitude at work. I'm not suggesting you ever have a poor attitude at work. But it could be that it's causing you to feel bad. It may decrease your productivity. If you're nauseous, you can't focus on what you're doing as well. You may feel exhausted at the end of the day or unable to work long hours. Number 4 also, does this affect your life in other ways? So please check off the box if it's related to restricting your household duties or hinders your ability to exercise or participate in sports. Down at the bottom of the survey, you could also check off, would you like to get rid of the problem? Either yes or no. All right, so at this point, we're going to move on. In order to fully understand these particular conditions, one needs to know how diet and stress can affect the body. And it's very important to understand that no symptom is normal. All symptoms tell you that something's wrong with your body and that you need to take action. It's just like the light on the dashboard of your car. Everyone have a car? Does it have a dashboard? Ever see the lights come on? Yeah? And do you take some action? Or do you just say, oh, the brake light's on. It's okay. You know, if it stops braking half the time, that's fine. I'll just take my chances. You probably go to, you know, have somebody look at it or figure it out yourself. Or maybe you just like pull the light off. You say, I don't need that light. No. Same thing in our body. Symptoms are the lights on the dashboard of your body. We only get one body. You could buy several cars, perhaps. I don't know if anyone else has had a few cars in their life. Yeah, you can run them in the ground or whatever, or someone might run into you. But you only get one body, even if someone runs into you. So we need to take care of it. And symptoms are saying you need to do something about what's going on. In talking about stress, there's a famous research